And speaking of ticking time bombs, I want to show you a quick clip of some churches that have been either vandalized or destroyed since Dobbs. Now, you're not going to hear this on the mainstream media, so I wanted to share this with you here. So in our second story, I wanted to share that with you. So here's a clip of some of these churches who have been vandalized and or destroyed.
Rage from pro-abortion activists is not just contained to the steps of the Supreme Court. It's sadly spreading all across the country. Since the Dobbs leak, nearly 30 pregnancy centers have been attacked. Since 2020, over 100 churches have been either attacked or vandalized. Many of these attacks can be attributed to the group Jane's Revenge, who recently said, "We have demonstrated how easy and fun it is to attack. Now our measures may not come in the form of something so easily cleaned up as fire or graffiti. It's open season. Through attacking, we find joy and courage." In some instances, people have interrupted Mass. Women have stripped during church services. Most tragically, some pro-abortion people have gone so far as to break or steal tabernacles and remove.
Now, for those of you who don't recall, the Dobbs decision was released in June of 2022, so not even a year later, 115 churches have been demolished, destroyed, or vandalized by people who are angry about this decision. Now, the real question at the end of the day is obviously not why is this happening, because there's a death cult in America that wishes to make sure at all cost that that babies are aborted. But the question is why is the media not actually shining a light on any of these acts of violence? And more importantly, to those who are in the pro-life community, I would just say this. But the more important thing here, I think, is to those who are in the pro-life community and for those who are Christians out there to make sure that you guys understand this. Whenever these kind of things are happening, it means that we are on the right path. It means that we're actually making progress. This is the first and only line of defense for those who are in the culture of death, is they must scream their heads off to make sure that we stay as far back as possible, because on the other side of their vandalism and on the other side of their screaming and their blue hair actually is great victory. I can't remember a time where the church was under such kind of threat from the outside world, from the culture, as we are in the present. And I can't help but wonder if that isn't because the church is actually operating as it should have been all along. Not merely trying to fill butts and seats, but actually taking ground for God and for life. And because we are now, we're actually becoming a threat once again. So I guess I would put it in these terms. Persecution may actually be a good sign. A sign that we're on the right path, a sign that we're actually making a difference once again. And so, as the early disciples did in the book of Acts and the early apostles, we should rejoice that we are being counted worthy to suffer for his name's sake. So all of this should be great news to all of us. It's a little bit shocking that the news media is not talking about it, but honestly, what can we expect from a bunch of reprobates? More importantly, what we should be doing is celebrating the fact that once again the church is on the rise and the counterculture is happening. The backlash is starting to take place. The church is starting to take their place in culture. Not only are we making a difference with things like the Dobbs decision finally coming down, but also on so many other fronts that are too many to name, but enough to say this, that right now we're going to see the backlash where the blue-haired radical feminist that is holding a poster of an aborted fetus and saying, "This is my choice," that kind of radicalism is slowly but surely going to become vomit-inducing for people. And the new cool thing will be to actually be an Orthodox kid that's holding his Bible and bringing that to school. That's going to be the new radical. And slowly but surely, we're starting to see that as the church gains cultural ground, especially in the post-Dobbs era. So you just got done watching a small excerpt of a much larger episode. You can find the link to that full episode down below in the description of this video. So you definitely want to check that out, because if you like that clip, you'll like the much larger episode. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click that little bell to be notified when great new episodes of Indie Thinker come your way. Thanks for watching.